After 10 years of leading the British Council of Nigeria and West African country operations as country director, Lucy Pearson will be moving on in August 2024. Her new role will now be Regional Director, Sub-Saharan Africa for the British Council. Lucy is accountable for strategic leadership of the British Council's largest operation in Sub-Saharan Africa. She has traveled to over 40 countries in her career with the British Council, and this has shaped her views and leadership style. She's passionate about people, and through coaching, mentoring, and modeling leadership, she enables women to unlock and achieve their potential. By October 2024, she will have been with the British Council for 29 years. Joining us now for a farewell chat is Lucy Pearson, Country Director of the British Council Nigeria and West Africa. Well, Lucy, congratulations on your tour of duty in West Africa and Nigeria. I hear you are going to Kenya to oversee, the whole of Sub-Saharan Africa. We would have loved to keep you here, just stay with us, where you have friends. But I know Kenyans will also be glad to have you. But can you reflect on your journey as a country director of the British Council in Nigeria? What were some of the highlights of your stay here?
Well, thank you. It's been a wonderful 10 years. I feel quite sad. There's real mixed emotions about leaving Nigeria, which has been my home, and Lagos has been my home for 10 years. So many highlights, from me getting out and around in Nigeria, meeting our programme partners and beneficiaries, and seeing come to life the work that we do. Working with federal and state governments, University-Based Education Board, for example, where we amended the curriculum and teacher training capacity, and last year they commended us for our work in basic education. With the National Universities Commission bringing the first ever transnational education delegation to Nigeria, to really build that UK-Nigeria higher education partnership and capacity of the sector. Working with the young people that we do, the vibrancy, the energy, the creativity, particularly in our work in the arts and the creative industries. I could go on, but there's so many highlights over the 10 years, but it always boils down to the people of Nigeria.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see the passion on your face as you smile, just reflecting on your time with us here in Nigeria. We'll definitely miss you. But share with us, I know you've talked about highlights. There must have been challenges. So what were some of your main challenges over your tenure, and then how did you overcome those challenges?
Thank you, Ayo. Well, I'm a kind of quite positive, glass half full person, so I like to think about it, opportunities. How can I learn? How can the British Council learn? What can we do even better? So what have we done? I mean, the scale of Nigeria, the diversity, being able to get out there to understand the different cultures, the people, how to get the best out of people across the diverse landscape of Nigeria. Building strong partnerships with our stakeholders, whether that's at government level, whether that's at civil society organisation level, and just really understanding Nigeria, what makes it tick, and how can I be a part of that and pull the right levers to make what we do impactful.
Brilliant.
No tears, only happy moments, sweet sorrow.
I can't promise.
It is well. I mean, so I know definitely the British Council has evolved under your leadership. 10 years is not a joke. You've seen the transition. I mean, tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think we have evolved as an organisation, and in that time, of course, we've had the pandemic. So that in itself made us have to rethink about how we operate, to move more to digital delivery. Now, the world's going digital, but we also know that face-to-face and human connection. So how do we get that hybrid, that blend of our programme delivery, so we're not losing the human interaction, but we're able to increasingly reach more people across Nigeria. The other thing I think that I'd like to think we've kind of taken an inside-out approach. The British Council is very much a values-based organisation. We do a lot of work in equality, diversity and inclusion. And we hope that that commitment to our values infuses through our programme work. So one of the initiatives that I've implemented is an internship programme where every year we take up to 10 young interns into the British Council to gain between 6 and 12 months work experience, a focus on people from marginalised groups, so people living with disabilities, for example. So this year we had 50% of our interns, so 5 interns out of 10 are people with disabilities, to give that skills opportunity, that experience. And that, of course, is what the British Council's about, focusing on young people and skills development for a brighter future.
Okay, you talked about UK-Nigeria education partnership, and that's a big area of connection between Nigeria and Great Britain, particularly. How about that? Another area of great connection is arts and culture.
Yes.
So can you tell us, how the British Council has worked in these areas under your watch?
Thank you. Well, starting with arts and culture, I mean, one of my highlights was back in 2014 when we launched the Lagos Theatre Festival, right here in Lagos, Freedom Park, and that's gone on to be one of the world-recognised festivals in Nigeria. We've worked with artists, creatives, producers, UK and Nigeria, to build skills, experience, capacity, exchange, knowledge and learning, and that exchange is super important. So skills development, a creative economy and enterprise programme in the arts and creative sector to develop skills for young artists and creative entrepreneurs, and also give them a platform, because we know infrastructure is a challenge in Nigeria. So to let them use our office facilities for free to showcase their work, their talents, their creative enterprise, and develop their skills so that not only are they employed, but they become employers and job creators and not just job takers. So I work in the creative industries, capacity building. In education, as you've rightly said, everything from our work with Universal Basic Education Board, State, SUBEBs, through to the National Universities Commission and the Ministry of Education. So our work goes through basic education, through to higher and transnational. We've worked on curriculum reform with the National Universities Commission, on basic education reform. We've trained over 10,000 teachers in English language and digital literacy skills, so that the teachers, but ultimately the young people, become the beneficiaries of 21st century skills that they need to get them success in the future.
Quite a large number of Nigerian children studying and living in the US, including my own children, I must confess.
Wow.
Right? That must be bigger.
We do.
Big advantage.
Yeah, I mean, we have a Cambridge exams, so there are thousands of young people in Nigeria that study the UK curriculum through our Cambridge exams. And I'm also delighted, every year we recognise outstanding learners and achievers through the Cambridge exam students. We hold that here in Lagos. It's a wonderful celebration every year, and some of those students go on to be recognised on the world stage as well. So huge talent that hopefully the British Council plays some part in nurturing in Nigeria.
Excellent. So tell us, do you have any, I know you've mentioned all these projects, and almost like a mother with her children, it's difficult to pick out which is your favorite, or which you would say that I am definitely proud of that. Yeah, that's a difficult one. So can you share with us, of all these projects, which would you say is particularly close to your heart, that you might say perhaps your proudest moment or proudest achievement in the last 10 years?
That is a super difficult question. I think I'm really proud of our work in the arts and creative industry. So I've mentioned Lagos Theatre Festival.
Yes.
There's some artists and producers that have gone on to take their productions to the UK, around sub-Saharan Africa. We've worked closely with Paul Studios, fantastic play called Esther's Revenge. I was part of that with Lagos Theatre Festival right from the beginning, and I've seen it grow, and 10 years later, it's flourishing. So that always has a special place in my heart. But like you said, I've no favourite. I can't pick a favourite child.
Let's talk about partnerships, the power of partnerships. You've had a lot of them. How has this contributed to the success of the mission in Nigeria?
Yeah, I mean, we can't do the work that we do. I mean, British Council celebrates our 80th anniversary, so I'm celebrating 10 years, but 80 years for the British Council in Nigeria. We can't do the fantastic work we do without dedicated partners. And I say that because of course, we can't be everywhere. We don't know everything. We need to work in partnership to understand the real needs of the people, the communities that we're working with, the strategic direction of federal and state governments, so that we can hook into that, work together to deliver impactful, sustainable programmes. So whether it's at government level, I've mentioned Universities Basic Education Board and National Universities Commission. We've worked with the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Culture very closely, right through to community level trainers who are delivering our work on the ground, civil society organisations. They understand the culture, the nuances much better than we ever can, and can increase that reach and impact of our work. So working hand in hand, mutually beneficial partnerships, and that also contributes to longevity and sustainability, because one day maybe the British Council stands back from that area, but the work can continue because we've been working hand in hand.
Brilliant.
Okay, now you're leaving Nigeria, you're going to Kenya as your base, you are going to oversee the whole of sub-Saharan Africa, where we Africans, we tend to be brothers, okay? In Kenya, they have had protests. Yeah. Nigerians are planning to protest too. They have also protested in Uganda. You know, our leaders are also more or less the same. So how do you plan to leverage your experience in Nigeria to drive success in your new regional, bigger position in charge of sub-Saharan Africa?
Yeah. Nigeria has given me and taught me so much. I've learned so much in the last 10 years. And I think one of the things that I'll absolutely take with me to my new role is just really connecting with people, listening very well, engaging, taking on board people's hopes, fears, needs, aspirations, and working in partnership to help deliver our programmes so that those are relevant in the context that we're working in. So, of course, all my experience in Nigeria won't directly translate to Kenya or South Africa or Ethiopia, but those skills of listening, engaging, working in partnership, and mutually coming together, I take that. The other thing I take, if I may, is some of the Nigerian positives, the strengths, if I can. That resilience, that energy, that hard working.
Which food will you remember?
Which food?
Is it pepper soup or jollof rice?
I've got to say jollof, haven't I? But don't tell my Ghanaian friends, Senegal, Sierra Leone.
Your secret is safe.
Direct to West Africa.
Yeah.
Favourite jollof rice? Of course it's Nigeria.
Okay, Nigerian jollof wins it.
He wins it, definitely. Just before you go, I need
to share the smokiness.
Yes, there's something different.
Jollof, right? Not just jollof, but
party jollof.
The one with the firewood smoke. But before you leave, before you go, I'm sure that some of the culture has rubbed off on you. Some of our languages you must have learned. So maybe you would share with us one or two words that you're taking away, because you have to have some. We have to have some deposits of Nigerianness in you. So share with us any language you've learned, any culture you're taking away with you to Kenya.
Okay, so first I'm going to give you the diplomatic answer. Okay, so British Council works across Nigeria. So, can I learn Yoruba and not Hausa or Igbo or 256 plus languages and dialects? But of course I know a few words. So in Yoruba, as we are here in Lagos, Bawane.
Yeah, well done. Bawane, yes.
And my favourite word, no wahala.
Nice one. That's universal pidgin. At least all across Nigeria. So that's very diplomatic. Yeah. Thank you.
Lucy Pearson, we wish you well. And thank you for all you've done for Nigeria and also for Great Britain.